Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel where today we will be taking a look at the new Era 3 Premium Light, the ADATS. Now the ADATS, or Air Defense Anti-Tank System, is the current Ultimate Season Pass reward tank, so it can be yours for as little as 6,000 gold. Outside of this season though, the ADATS will cost you an eye-watering 17,000 gold. Now the question is, after that much money has been spent, or you're planning to spend, is the ADATS worth getting? Well, my short answer to that question is no, because right now I don't think the game's worth investing in. I don't think your hard-earned money should go towards the game at the minute, but if you are interested, then this is what I have to say about it. It is not an easy tank to play. It is slow compared to most other lights. It has terrible concealment compared to most lights. It's very tall compared to every other light tank. It's got poor gun depression. It likes to get ammo racked, and it's very easy to see due to the fact that the radar is deployed and active. There are no air targets to shoot at, so why Wargaming have done that, I don't know. They could have just put the radar in on the tank, just had it stowed, but they've got it active and spinning, which does give this thing away. And I've noticed that I've spotted these things because the radar is spinning. So if you want a challenge, or you want an Era 3 Premium light tank for cheap, then feel free to go ahead and get one. Alright, let's compare the Era 3 Premium, the ADATS, to its nearest in-game companion. And I say premium because I normally do compare these tanks, these new premiums, to other premiums, but this tank is so different to everything else, I have just decided to compare it to the M3A2 Bradley, which is essentially, that's what the hull of this thing, that's what the hull of the ADATS is. It's a Bradley. So the 25mm Bushmaster on both the ADATS and the Bradley have 220mm of pen on standard rounds, 65mm on secondary. Primary will do an average of 30 alpha, while secondary will do an average of 50 alpha. The ATGMs for the ADATS have 900mm of pen, doing an average of 1300 alpha. The Bradley has 800mm on standard ATGMs, 1000mm on gold ATGMs, both of which will do an average of 1300 as well. Now at this point, these vehicles sound almost identical, but there is one big difference. The Bradley's ATGMs will accelerate to 329 meters per second. The ADATS ATGMs will accelerate to 1029 meters per second. Sounds great and all, but the intra-clip reload of the ADATS ATGMs is 18 seconds. The Bradley's is 10 seconds. And that is where the difficulty in playing the ADATS comes from, because yes, its ATGMs are very, very fast, but you do sit there for a lot longer than normal waiting for it to reload, and I kind of would rather have the Bradley's ATGMs that are slower than have these rapidly fast ATGMs that take a long time to reload. That's just my take on it. You guys might feel differently about it. Alright, moving on. Both the ADATS and the Bradley have 3200 hit points. Unboosted, the ADATS will max out at 58 km an hour. The Bradley will max out at 69 km an hour. The ADATS has a maximum view range of 600 meters. The Bradley has 580 meters. The moving and still concealment of the ADATS is 367 meters, while the Bradley comes in at 334. I have found the concealment of the ADATS to be absolutely terrible when you compare it to other light tanks. Even with the crew and equipment that I've got, which is a concealment crew, I've put smoke on there, I've put camo net on there, I can get the Bradley down to 203 meters. But the ADATS is just stuck at 249 meters, and that doesn't sound like a big difference, but in-game, I've found it makes a huge difference. The ADATS is so difficult to hide that I've ended up having to play it like a medium, and well, in my experience anyway, playing it, it can't function as a light tank at all. Now, does that mean it's a bad tank? No, not particularly. I've been in games where people have done 12,000 plus damage in the ADATS, so it's possible to do well, but you really need to know what you're doing. This is a tank that you'll need to learn how to play. You can't just pick it up and have it hand you free damage really, really easily. That's not what's going to happen. You need to work for the damage, basically. You need to know what you're doing, and you need to work with the concealment carefully, because you will get spotted, and it's a big target. It's easy to hit. It likes to get ammo wrecked. So, yeah, this is not an easy one to play. But it can be rewarding at the same time when you do get it to work. Okay, let's take a look at the economy stats before we close this one out. The ADATS has a 60% silver boost, 15% tank XP boost, 4% free XP boost, and finally a 10% crew XP boost. The silver boost is a slight sign there that Wargaming recognised this as a tough vehicle to play, so they've given it a 60% silver boost just to sweeten it up a little bit. So in summary then, the ADATS is a very unique vehicle. It has an autocannon and ATGMs, but really it is unlike any other autocannon and ATGM vehicle in the game. This one really does sit in a category all of its own, which kind of makes sense because it is technically an anti-air system. It's technically self-propelled anti-air. Okay guys, that's all I've got for this one. If you've enjoyed this video, please leave it a like, if not a dislike, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you in the next one.